Hey, remember when I said I would return?
See, I did say that.
What's up, bitches? I'm back, and with some new bangin' tunes. You like that shit? God, The Fresh Prince is such a good show. I Man Gay. We're going back in time again to a different chapter of my childhood. Another chapter I'm quite fond of. That's right, we're going through From Russia with Love for the PS2. And this game is special to me, not just because we play as Sean Connery's James Bond, no, the man himself returns to reprise the role. To me, Sean Connery is James Bond. Always has been, always will be. Despite him growing to hate the role, it didn't stop him from coming back in 2005. You can't see it, but my toes are curling under the desk from the sheer excitement I'm experiencing. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's fucking get it. The game opens with a fancy party. People are laughing and having a good time, and oh shit, dudes are rappelling down from the Big Ben and sneak attacking guards? If you can't tell already, some shit's about to go down. Thank God James Bond is on the way in the DB5, which wasn't introduced until Goldfinger, but who cares? And holy shit, choppers as well? Things are really starting to look grim for these people. Bond arrives and the first thing he does is order his classic dry martini. He's here to protect the Prime Minister's youngest daughter from an expected kidnapping attempt. And, he does a shit job. One of those choppers from earlier finally arrives and fires a missile at the building, sending everybody into a panic. And wouldn't you know it, the Prime Minister's daughter gets nabbed almost immediately.
Good work, 007. You're really proving your worth.
Oh hell yeah, badass.
The game is over, Mr. Bond.
I think it's just begun.
Thanks to brain rot humor, this line is now funny to me. Step aside, cutscene Bond, because I'm taking over. Shit is blowing up left and right, and I'm popping bad guys off the bat? This is fucking awesome. Then there's this poor sap who gets wrecked by a nade. You know, this is an awful lot of manpower just to kidnap a girl. This game has a focus mechanic, and I use it a lot. It allows you to target enemy weak spots, and it adds some good variety to the gameplay. Good lord, what some guys would do over some bussy. Am I right or am I right?
God help me, I don't get any!
Going up these stairs will cause some enemies to drop in from the skylight. Shooting their ropes will cause them to plummet to their deaths. Shooting them normally gives the same result, but it's much more satisfying to do it this way. And platforming? Holy ass! Don't get used to it though. It only appears a handful of times throughout the game. We're able to track down the girl, but it's too late. The nabber got his hands on a jetpack, and they both fly through the skylight. We better get our ass to the roof. Quick side note, you can search file cabinets and bookshelves to find schematics. The primary use for them is to upgrade your equipment and weapons. Oftentimes you'll find them just sitting loose on the ground. Moving on. Oh yeah, now we're talking. One swift pow right in the kiss of Leda, and we get our hands on a jetpack. In the first level. Who'da thunk it? I think the jetpack in this game is really fun. I mean shit, shooting people off the Big Ben and getting into dogfights with other guys in jetpacks? This is fun. But here comes the chopper that has the girl in it. So you know what that means. It's time for a Hail Mary full of bullets and missiles, with absolutely zero regard for her safety. And just like that, Bond saves the day. Well, how's about a little Hulu in, do you? If you know what I'm saying. I can't do Sean Connery's accent very well. Mission 2 is split up into two parts, the first part taking place inside of a hedge maze, and part 2 taking place inside MI6. We have to sneak through the hedge maze and get to the mansion on the other side to retrieve some documents. Notice how I put sneak in quotations, because I try to sneak, but I get caught 5 seconds later. I'm not really going to fault the game for this, I'm just impatient and I suck at stealth. The hedge maze introduces us to a new enemy, the radio guards. The game encourages you to just shoot the radio, but if you're smart enough, you don't have to waste the ammo. You can just do a takedown. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, you're being stalked the whole time. And after you get to the end of the hedge maze and up to the mansion, you get strangled by the stalker. This is Red Grant and Rosa Klebb. They're gonna be the main antagonists for this game. But wait a minute, Bond is dead. Nah. The real one is in MI6 hitting up Moneypenny. Old boy over here's thinking he gonna get some. But nah, M is here to cockblock us.
You'll have time for that later, 007. Step into my office immediately.
He fills us in on a woman who wants to help us. She's fallen in love with our picture, you see, and she wants to help us retrieve a Russian decoding device named the Lecter. But before we can get on a plane to Istanbul, we have to go meet Q in the basement, as he has some gadgets for us. Q gives us a rappel belt and a Q-copter, which nowadays is just an air hogs with C4 strapped to it. But that's besides the point. There's one last thing we have to do. Q puts us through a bit of a training exercise, you see. There's a bomb somewhere in the training facility, and we have to find it. But there's opposition. That's right. He's put mannequins on TV carts and given them guns. Great. It's pretty easy. It lasts about 2 minutes, and
I'll bring it back. From Russia with love.
he said the thing! Now let's go get that woman. We meet up with Kerim Bey, where he gifts us with a DB5, courtesy of Q. Can you tell I'm playing this on an emulator? Turns out Bond is a walking chaos magnet, because not even 5 minutes into our arrival, Red Grant shows up and using a non-existent scope, blows up the Russian car that had been tailing us, successfully ending our alliance with them. Why is it following the car? It's a drone scope. However, they are quick to retaliate, sending droves of cars to attack us. Kerim gets the idea that if we destroy a nearby garage, it'll slow them down. He also tips us off about a different garage where we can repair our car if needed, which this guy has to be flat rate because that shit was stupid fast. Hope nothing falls off. Let's touch on the driving for a moment. It's decent. To me, it doesn't really match the fluidity of Agent Under Fire's, which it didn't really need to in the first place. That's not to say it's bad, it really isn't. After running out of rockets and pelting the shit out of this garage with bullets, Kerim's idea paid off. We managed to get away only to have our path blocked by a tank.
Holy shit!
Talk to the hand, bitch. I'll get us around it. Using your new rappel belt, you can scale this wall. You get to run and swing across different balconies, taking down any opposition along the way. All the while, the tank tries to stop you. Gee, I wonder where it's gonna shoot. Why no shoot me? Big mistake, bub. Swing through this window in a pretty sick Bond moment, kill the guards and jump on this turret. Motherfucker has no clue where I'm at. Now that our obstacle is out of the way, let's get over to Station T to the meeting. Play the transition. Well, alright. Let's hope this meeting goes well. Fuck. Oh well, more bad stuff equals more shooty bang bang. The Russians have taken over the building, planting bombs and taking hostages in the process. It's here where we first use the Q-copter. We use it to blow up this panel to unlock a side door. In my opinion, this mission is the first real challenge of the game. The place is crawling with enemies, and you'll need to be careful, otherwise you might get melted. Saving all the hostages and defusing all the bombs will trigger a boss fight. A helicopter crashes in through the skylight and picks the wrong spot to fire a missile. It's a fairly easy boss fight. After beating it, the chopper will crash and basically takes the place of one of the bombs that we defused. Since the meeting was ruined, we'll need to find our own way to get the Lecter. Good thing Kerim is an idea man. So, what is Kerim's idea? Well, we're gonna go to a safe house and obtain disguises. Then we're gonna head over to a Russian checkpoint and steal a boat. After that, we'll use it to traverse an underground canal which will lead us to a secret surveillance room under the Russian consulate. What could go wrong there?
And I'll get the winch.
There they are! Kill them!
And we're compromised. In all honesty, I'm surprised we even got this far. I mean, we did pull up in the DB5, kind of a red flag. Hey, you want to meet another enemy type? I'm not quite sure what to call this big hunk. Let's call him Boof. Boof is tough, enough said. Alright, Kerim, let's hope this idea pays off, buddy. Much to my chagrin, the canal is littered with enemies. Thankfully, we're on rails for this part, and we have a pretty good turret to aid us. These morons go down like a hot knife through butter. It gets a bit chaotic down here. Boats chase after us, dudes with bazookas do their best stormtrooper impression, shit is exploding. Not too shabby. After eliminating what must have been an entire platoon's worth, we finally arrive at the secret room. Ah, there it is. The Lector. Apparently, this Russian general named Kurlenko intends on locking it up in a vault and attacking a gypsy camp that Karam is good friends with. We send him on his way while we go and look for the blueprints for the vault. I died for the first time in this playthrough in this section. I was almost out when Boof showed up and blew up the car next to me. Oh, Boof. My second time through, I succeed in putting him in a timeout. Maybe another time, Boof. I steal a jetpack and Carl Johnson the fuck out of there. Don't worry, Karam, I'm coming. I'm also on the way and we'll be there soon. Just hang tight. I'm here, buddy. How's everything going? Okay. 2 women are fighting over a man. Cool, cool. What else? A big truck with a man turret has busted in and has opened fire on the camp. Cool, cool. Wait a minute. This is probably my favorite mission in the game. It's action-packed and decently paced. The premise is simple. All we need to do is grab a gas mask and save the hostages that reside within the homes and ruins. Plain and simple. Though this lady doesn't have a mask on. Bitch is built different, I guess. Cool. Great. All the hostages have been saved. But wait a minute. Kurlenko shows up and has us in his sights. Then Red Grant shows up and is all like, "That's my man, ho!" and shoots him in the hand, I think, disarming him. Instead of hitting us, the stray bullet hits Karam in the arm. Then Grant and Kurlenko both flee the scene, and that's how I met your mother. Now we're tasked with getting the sniper and protecting Karam from afar. And honestly, it's not a bad little sniper section. It's a nice touch. Hi, Boof! I can't play right now, buddy. I have to track down a bad guy after this. After fending off those pesky Russians, we both set off to find Kurlenko, which coincidentally, Karam knows exactly where he's run off to. Oh, we're coming for you, bitch. Tatiana, the woman who fell in love with our picture, has met up with Rosa Klebb. She's instructed to do whatever Bond asks her to do. Okay, so from what I've gathered, Bond is being used to obtain the Lecter from the Russians, then Octopus plans on killing him and taking it for themselves. By the way, in case you don't know, Octopus is this game's version of Spectre, in case anybody was wondering. Anyways, Bond and Karam argue over who gets to kill Kurlenko, and then they split up. We blast our way through the alleys of Istanbul and some of its buildings. Uh-oh. Boof is mad. Bad Boof. We get up to the roof where the final part of this mission takes place. The second and final sniper section of the game, aside from a bonus mission. Despite the gypsy camp being my favorite mission, I do prefer this sniper section to its own. Boof won't take no for an answer, and a chopper even shows up. And there are more enemies in this mission too, making it feel more frantic. After clearing a path for Karam, he gets captured by Kurlenko, but I'm James Bond, so I dome the fucker. Or I try anyways, unknowingly completing another step of Octopus's plan. Karam has arranged a meeting with us and Tatiana, so Bond is satisfied because he's about to have some good bonding time.
Shut the fuck up!
Sorry, fuck. It's go time, baby. The plan is simple. I go in, talk to the passport clerk, and then you cause a distraction. Get it? Got it? Good.
Is that the correct time?
Russian clocks are always...
A serum gun. It confuses enemies? Interesting. Yep, it certainly does that. You can't progress until you shut off the gas. Not a problem. After finding Tatiana in a storage room, we make our way into the basement. It's kind of an escort thing, but it isn't. She takes cover and doesn't get stuck on anything, and is there when you need her, adding zero stress to this mission. One cool thing the game does is it will mark which enemies are shooting at her. I've always liked that. I fight my way to the vault, grab the Lecter, and make my escape, mowing down any mofos that stand in my way. Karam is waiting for us in a garage. We have a train to catch. God, I hope I'm not fucking driving. Damn it! Not much to say about this one. It's the same map as the last two driving missions. This car handles about the same as the DB5. It could handle differently, but I didn't really pay attention or notice anything drastic. You have to take out about 30 cars before you can get to the train. Probably my least favorite mission in the game. Here we go, another banger of a mission. Captain Nash, meets us at the train station, and Bond immediately just goes with it, having never heard of this man before. Unfortunately, this is the end of the line for Karam, as Nashhole here kills him.
1 second.
Take all the time you'd like.
Nash gives himself away rather quickly, and Bond quickly realizes he's part of Octopus. The fight that follows is honestly pretty damn entertaining.
Pity to miss a meal.
Boof! No! The first part of this mission takes place in the train car, and it has you fighting waves of Octopus soldiers. Some good fun here. Then Grant appears from seemingly nowhere and knocks us out with a wine bottle. Him and his lady flee from the train and into the station, but we're close on their tails. This mission introduces us to these SHIELD guys, and I fucking hate them. Grenades or rockets work best in my opinion. The end of the mission has us destroying an Octopus train and shortly thereafter having a boss fight with Grant. And he's a tough cookie. He will lob grenades at you when you get into cover. But if you do manage to beat him, he'll fall onto the tracks and an oncoming train will run him over. The last thing to do is to break the sad news of Karam's death to his son.
I am sorry. Your father's dead.
Bond makes it very clear that he has no empathy. He is only here for one thing, the Lecter. Fuck Karam, I want the Lecter. What a dog. Gypsy Camp may be my number 1. However, Factory is a cunt hair close number 2. It has the best start to a mission. You steal a jetpack and raid a factory, destroying everything and everyone in your wake. Instead of disarming bombs, now we're doing the arming. We have successfully become the terrorist. This has to be the most unique setting in the game, aside from the last mission. We get our hands on an armor-piercing rifle in this mission, and it's a huge help when it comes to boof. I did make one mistake in using all of its ammo. It left me unprepared for whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. Fortunately, it wasn't as difficult as it made itself out to be. Once you disarm all the bombs, we're able to track down the bitch that Grant was with. Hey, she has the Lecter! I'll get it back soon, but first, bombs away you fuckers. See, I told you. I don't know what kind of weird truck thing this is, but I want one. Somehow, she manages to get up from that and calls in for the tunnel to be blown up. 1 minute and 40 seconds is all the time we get, and it is plentiful. How long was he driving for? It beats me. All I know is those bastard octopus followed us and blew up my awesome new thing. But now I have the DB5 in the final driving section in this game, and thank God it's a different map from the last 3 driving missions. Hands down, this one is the most fun. It's short-lived though, cause we're soon back on our feet in search of a boat. Fucking shields, I hate you all. Awesome, we've got the boat. And just like Underground before, this is an on-rails section, and it's better than before. Border combines aspects of previous missions, and it does it really well. It ramps up the action by a good amount without being too overwhelming. It does drag on for a bit, but I'll give it a pass. Right at the end, one thing blocks our path of escape. An assault boat, one of its kind. Fucker is tanky, but it goes down. While this is near the end of the movie, we still have one last place to visit. Events play out just like in the movie, with Kleb attacking Bond in his hotel room. Tatiana grabs his gun and shoots her dead. This makes Octopus reasonably angry, and they end up stealing a nuke and intends on blowing up London unless they get paid £100 million. Ha, yeah right. I'm a one-man army and this place is about to go down. Once we get to the end of this tram ride, we'll locate the missile and plant a bomb on its fuel intake. But there's opposition. That's right. Octopus has put mannequins on TV carts and has given them guns. Boof, you silly goose. Taking this jetpack will trigger a boss fight with Eva, Grant's side bitch. She's sitting at the end of this runway in a jet, hurling rockets at you and letting her henchmen chip away at your health. When her health is drained, in a last-ditch effort, she'll try and ram you, but instead rams the hangar door like an absolute buffoon. Now that she's out of the way, let's take care of that missile and get the hell out of here. I get absolutely shredded here, and Boof almost finishes me off, but by sheer luck I prevailed.
Not so fast, old man.
Ah, fuck. You again? While yes, this boss fight looks intimidating, if you listen to the audio cues and hide behind this big fat piece of cover, you'll do just fine. Just stay in the center, as like before, he will lob grenades at you. You can disable his weapons by shooting them until they explode, or if you were impatient like me, you could just shoot at Grant. Well, I guess you could say you took me for granted.
You're gonna shoot me in cold blood, old man. It's not the English way. It's like red wine with fish.
From Russia with Love has 4 bonus missions: Tunnels, Ruins, Plaza, and Airport, all of which are pretty straightforward. Tunnels has you running through the tunnels from the factory, disabling the explosives that would have collapsed them. Ruins is the best of the 4, having you shoot your way through tons of enemies in a very fun and creative environment. It's also pretty challenging. Plaza, which has you posted up on the balcony with a sniper and no cover. It's hard, and not in a good way. Then there's Airport, which I never got around to actually unlocking. From what I know, you're stuck in a parking lot, and your goal is to kill 75 enemies. There is a multiplayer mode, but I have no friends. Fuck! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this one. I know it took me a while to make, but I have a valid excuse. I was off on vacation visiting Cocoa Beach in Florida proposing to my girlfriend. She said yes, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have to make an unexpected trip to the grocery store to get some milk. I have already started progress on a new video, so hopefully the gap in between won't be as big. One last thing before I go. When I picked up YouTube, I set 2 goals for myself for 2024. To hit 1,000 views on a video and to reach 50 subscribers. Within the first 3 months of starting up, I absolutely smashed that goal, and I cannot thank you all enough for that. The amount of support I have been getting has just been amazing, and I really hope that this can continue. That being said, thank you so much for stopping by, guys. Hopefully, I'll see you again soon. Adios.